Hello and welcome to Vinyasa Flow. My name is Michelle Chua. For this hip opening practice, which we also had a request for some postures and movements that help to stimulate, cleanse of the kidneys, we'll integrate a little bit of that as well. Grab 2 blocks and a strap. And let's begin lying down on your back in supine, bound to angle pose, with a strap off to the side where you can reach for it later. And as you're bringing your soles of your feet together to touch, you might opt to place a block under each outer thigh or knee, if that is more comfortable for you. So go ahead and lie down, take a moment to literally feel the ground beneath you, so grounding yourself. And then maybe place a hand to your heart, a hand to your lower belly, allowing your attention to zoom into your own physical body, breath, mind, and heart. Allow a deeper inhalation to your nose, letting it fill up space. And feel free to sigh it out, make any sound as you open the mouth. Again, a little bit slower, in through the nose. Find a pause at the top of the breath, relax your body. And again, sound it out if you like, let it go. Ha. Pause at the bottom, hold it out. And then try that once more on your own, holding the breath in and holding the breath out. Stay on your back. I'm going to go ahead and sit up so that I can read something to you. So continue to deepen the breath, and this time, if you're comfortable, closing the lips. So you're just breathing through the nose. On Monday in our Yoga Basics class, I quoted Nishala Joy Devi on her translation of the 8 limbs of yoga from her book, The Secret Power of Yoga. She has a very heart-centered, more feminine approach to translating the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So now I'd like to zoom in on the first 2 of the 8 limbs of yoga, which I've talked about quite a few times in the past, but here's yet another angle to appreciate and understand them. So the first limb of yoga are called Yamas. And oftentimes they are translated as ethical codes of how to relate with the outside world. Here is Nishala's explanation of the Yamas. They are reflections of our true nature that are experienced through these 5 practices. 1, ahimsa, reverence, love, and compassion for all. 2, satya, truthfulness and integrity. 3, asteya, generosity and honesty. 4, brahmacharya, balance and moderation of the vital life force. And 5, aparigraha, awareness of abundance, fulfillment. So she chooses to explain the terms in more positive, encouraging manners, whereas ahimsa is often defined as non-violence. Her explanation is reverence, love, compassion for all. Now, she also says in her book, these great truths are universal and inherent to all beings. If they are altered or ignored, the quality of life is greatly compromised. Now we move on to the second limb of yoga, which are the niyamas. And often the niyamas are translated as spiritual practices that connect you with your core being or soul. Her definition is niyamas allow our evolution toward harmony, and they encompass 5 practices. 1, saucha, which is simplicity, purity, and refinement. 2, santosha, which is contentment or being at peace with oneself and others. 3, tapas, which is igniting the purifying flame. 4, swadhyaya, which is the sacred study of the divine through scripture, nature, and introspection. I love how she adds nature there. And 5, Ishvara Pranidhana, which is wholehearted dedication to the divine. And she says, when presented with disquieting thoughts or feelings, cultivating an opposite elevated attitude. This is Pratipaksha Bhavanam. So here's yet another angle to integrate the first two limbs of yoga into our third limb of yoga, which is the asana, physical posture practice. Notice which of these yamas or niyamas particularly resonate with you today as you begin to clarify an intention for your practice. So saying to yourself what you are focusing on and practicing and integrating into your being. And in the practice of aparigraha, awareness of abundance and sharing it, I invite you to choose someone or something like a community or a cause to offer up your efforts to today. Also a practice of wholehearted devotion, which is Ishvara Pranidhana. And as you continue lying on your back, invite a deeper inhalation to expand the side walls of your rib cage and all the way down to the pit of your belly. Open the mouth, clear out any last bit of stagnant air from the lungs. Let's prepare to chant 3 ohms together. Inhale deeply. Now remember to listen to your body and to discern what variations of postures and movements are most appropriate for you in each moment of your practice. Let's start to regulate the mind to a steady focus and the body to a calm balance of effort and ease by practicing Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breathing technique. While closing your lips, softly narrow or gently constrict the back of your throat, inviting a very smooth and even whispering sound in and out to your nose, sort of like gentle ocean waves. Continue to cultivate that sound as an anchor for your mind, bridging mind with body and present moment. And begin to remove any blocks that might be underneath your outer thighs and draw your bent knees together into your chest. Let's begin with a spinal twist. So open the arms apart, drop your knees to the left, and maybe look over your right shoulder, making sure to ground your right shoulder here. Breathing in slowly as you're lengthening your spine in your mind's eye. And breathing out just as slowly as you listen for the sound. If you're needing a little more release in the lower back, place your left hand on your outer right hip and draw it away from you as you exhale. Last couple of breaths here. Slowly roll onto your back and let's drop the knees gently to your right side, looking over your left shoulder as you ground it. So whether your body is still or continuously moving in a vinyasa flow, cultivate the same slow rhythm of breath that you can hear. You might give your lower back a little more release by pressing the left outer hip away with your right hand. Now come back to center. Step your left foot on the floor, bend your right knee into your chest, and step the ball of your right foot either into the loop or center of your strap. With your right hand holding the strap, right arm on the inside of your right thigh, press your left hand on the top of your left thigh to make sure the back of your left hip stays on the ground. Now, to whatever's comfortable, we haven't warmed up yet, so be gentle with yourself. Kick into the strap with your right foot flexed as you pull the strap, so there's some tension, straightening the right leg up to whatever degree is comfortable. And if your hamstrings feel okay with it, straighten the left leg on the floor. Otherwise, keep the left knee bent. Now flex the left foot too, and begin to externally rotate your right thigh at the hip. So from the hip socket, spin the right leg entirely so the right knee and toes slightly point towards your right wall. Now slowly as you breathe, begin to open or abduct the right leg, which means moving it away from the midline of your body, just to the degree that you can keep the back of your left hip and your two shoulders on the floor. Keep flexing your left foot, not turning out the left leg, but pressing the instep of your left foot forward. Now imagine you're standing upright in this position. This is hand to big toe pose, which we will practice later. Reference shoulders stacking over hips as you feel shoulders and hips evenly grounded. Draw your right sitting bone and outer hip forward towards your inner left heel so that you're lengthening, not shortening, the right side of your torso. One more deep breath here. Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Bring the right leg to center, raise the left arm up, get long through the center line of your body while relaxing your shoulders. And set your right foot on the floor. Bend your left knee into your chest and step the ball of your left foot into the loop or center of the strap. As you hold the strap with your left hand, bring your left arm on the inside of your thigh. Kick into the strap with your left foot, flexed. Press the right hand on the top of your right thigh, making sure the back of your right hip stays on the floor, and begin to kick the left leg up towards straight while pulling the strap down, making sure that your two shoulders and two hips are evenly grounded. Check in with your breath. Now, if your body feels okay with it, straighten the right leg forward and flex your right foot too. Now, from your left hip socket, rotate your left thigh bone externally and then begin to move the leg away from your midline, which means abduct the leg. Breath by breath. And as you do this, notice if your left hip hikes up towards your left armpit, thus shortening the left side of your torso. Let's avoid that by drawing your left outer hip and sitting bone forward towards your inner right heel, even if it means backing off in the amount that you're opening the left leg. Last couple of breaths here. Bring your left leg to center, keep kicking into the strap, raise your right arm. Inhale, get long through the center line of your body. Exhale, release the strap, and bend your knees into your chest, now rocking and rolling forward and back several times, building momentum so that eventually you rise to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose. Joining your hands to meet at your heart. Let's prepare to start a few sun salutations. Surya Namaskar, C. Empty this breath. As you inhale, sweep your arms forward and coil your chest up, gazing up. As you exhale, bow from your hips. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee behind you and gaze up in a kneeling lunge. As you hold your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide forward to the ground, entering cobra pose. Exhale, lift your hips back, downward dog. Inhale, step left foot forward beside left thumb. Lower your right knee, gaze up. Exhale, step right foot forward and bow. Root down to your feet and rise as you inhale into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands together, Padasana. Second side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, step right knee back, Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Hold your breath, step to plank. Exhale, Ashtangasana, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. Exhale, lift the hips to Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot beside right thumb. Lower left knee, gaze up. Exhale, step left foot forward and bow. Root down, inhale, rise, rolling your shoulders back as you gaze up. Exhale, join your hands together at your heart. This time, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Press down with your hands and inhale, lengthen your spine forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Please step back to tabletop pose, hands and knees. We're going to integrate some of that movement to help bring cleanse to the kidneys. So stack your shoulders over your wrists, spread your fingers flat, stack your hips above your knees. And as you inhale, raise your right leg behind you and coil your chest up, sort of like cow pose. As you exhale, bend the knees slowly towards your nose, pressing the ground away with your hands, round your back like cat pose. 4 more slowly. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale, contract and round. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale, contract and round. Inhale, extend through the front body. Exhale, contract. Now step the right foot forward and come into a kneeling lunge, rising up. So have your legs hips width apart, front knee right on top of the heel. With your right hand, take hold of your left wrist. Isometrically drag the legs towards each other to create stability as you lift the spine tall and relax the shoulders down. Breathe in. Keep your legs still and exhale, begin to side bend to your right. Imagine breathing into the area, especially on the left side of your middle back, just beneath your rib cage. You might get a little more into that area by turning your gaze down, a little bit of rounding. Two more breaths here. Inhale, rise up, tuck the back toes, rise to crescent, and then drop the back heel, align right heel to intersect the arch of left foot, and open your arms, straighten your legs for triangle pose. Glide your hips towards your rear wall, lengthening your torso towards your front wall. Place the right hand on the right side of your right shin, whether on a block or the floor, and rotate your right outer hip underneath you. So your right leg is an external rotation at the hip. Tack the crease of your right hip back towards your left outer foot, pressing the outer foot firmly down, while lengthening the top of your head forward and drawing the shoulder blades down your back ribs. Spin your chest slightly to face the sky as you steady your gaze on one focal point. Tune into another 3 to 5 breaths in Trikonasana. Gaze at the floor in front of your right foot. Let's prepare for half moon pose. Walk your right hand about 6 inches forward of your right pinky toe out to the right corner. Drag your left foot forward and flex it off the floor and recreate the shape of triangle pose, stacking your shoulders over your right wrist. Land your gaze on one point and let's tune into about 5 more breaths here in Ardha Chandrasana. As you exhale, slowly bend the right knee and step into peaceful warrior. Keeping the right knee bent as you side bend towards your rear wall, either resting the left hand on the left leg or wrapping the left arm behind your back. Breathe into your right side body as you point your right knee straight forward. Now come back to a high lunge, placing your hands to frame your right heel. Walk the right foot to the right until your legs are hips width apart. Now keep the left hand down, whether on a block or the floor, directly under your left shoulder. Press back through the instep of your left foot, bending the right knee just over the ankle. Hook your right thumb onto your outer right hip crease and tack it back, sink it down while you inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Now without moving the pelvis, exhale, twist to your right. Then raise your right arm up. Rotate your right tricep to face your right wall. Then extend your right arm overhead just to the degree where you can still draw the shoulder blades down your back and spiral your chest open towards the sky. Breath by breath, exploring the range of your lunge twist, or this version of Parita Parshvakonasana. Now, place your left hand flat on the ground. Set your left knee on the floor right under the left shoulder. Right arm is stretching towards the sky as you root through the left palm to rise up. Walk your right foot all the way to the rear of your mat, pressing the outer heel into the ground, entering a variation of side plank. If you're needing more balance support, slide your left foot directly behind you until your left shin is perpendicular to your mat. If you're needing more challenge, flex your right foot off the floor, almost like a kneeling version of half moon pose. Tune into the sound of your breath. Sweep your right arm overhead and come back down to tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you and coil your chest up. Exhale, contract your belly, bending the knee towards your nose. 4 more to the breath. Inhale, raise left leg and chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend to your front body. Exhale, contract it. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. This time, inhale, extend. Exhale, contract, and step the foot gently beside your left thumb. Arriving at your kneeling lunge, sweep your arms overhead. So bring that isometric, dragging the legs towards each other to create a rooted feeling. With your left hand, take hold of your right wrist and lift the spine, relax the shoulders, breathe in. Keep your legs still as you exhale, begin to side bend to your left for a few breaths. Lifting the spine as you breathe in and side bending further, directing your breath towards your lowest right back ribs, the region of your kidneys. You might even get a little more into the area by slightly rounding the back as you look just to the left of your left thigh on the ground. Inhale, come back to center, rise up into crescent lunge. Spin the right heel down and align left heel to arch of right foot with legs straight. Open your arms. Let's prepare for triangle pose. Glide your pelvis sideways towards your rear wall while lengthening your torso towards your front wall. Placing your left hand down on the left side of your left leg on a block or the floor. Rotate your left outer hip under your body. Tack the crease of your left hip back towards your right outer foot. Firm down to your right outer foot and lengthen forward through your crown, spiraling your chest towards the sky as you relax the shoulders down your back. Now, steadying your gaze, listen to another 3 to 5 deep breaths. Trikonasana. Gaze at the ground ahead of your left foot. Walk the left hand forward into the left of it. Drag your right foot forward. Flex the foot off the floor. Ardha Chandrasana. Right away, steady your gaze. Continue to tack your left hip crease back towards your right outer foot. As you exhale, bending the left knee, softly step your right foot to the rear of your mat, entering Peaceful Warrior, oftentimes called Reverse Warrior. Side bending towards your rear wall. Either lightly land the right hand on your right leg or wrap the arm behind you. Breathe into your left side body. Rising up, plant your hands to frame your left ankle and come into a high lunge. Parallel your feet, hips distance apart, bending your left knee right on top of your left heel. Keep your right hand down on a block of the floor directly under your right shoulder. Use your left thumb and hook your left outer hip crease back and down. Press back through the instep of your right foot as you inhale to lengthen the top of your head forward. Across your waistline, exhale, start to twist to the left. Raise your left arm up. Each inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Each exhale, firm your hips still, continue to twist. Now rotate your left tricep, outer upper arm to face your left wall, and extend the left arm overhead, drawing the shoulders down your back. We're here for about 3 to 4 more breaths. Parita Parshvakonasana. Now place your right hand flat on the earth, shoulder right on top of the wrist, spread the fingers. Lower your right knee on the ground directly under the right hip. Version of Vashisthasana side plank. Walk your left foot to the rear of your mat and press the outer edge of that foot firmly into the floor, finding your balance as you reach up through your left hand. Spread your shoulder blades across your back ribs and draw them away from your neck, hugging in the bottom of your front ribs. If you need more support to balance with, slide your right shin directly behind you. If you need more challenge, flex your left foot off the ground, sort of like half moon pose. Sweep your top arm overhead, and this time arrive at plank pose. Breathe in plank, spreading the shoulder blades apart and lengthening your neck. Exhale, slowly lower into your Vinyasa, either Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Let's pause in Downward Facing Dog for 3 deep breaths. Listen to the quality of your breathing. Then walk your hands to the rear of your mat, folding over your legs for Padahastasana, stretching your outer wrists. So make sure your feet are parallel, hips distance apart. Feel free to bend your knees any amount that allows you to hang your spine freely without tensing your shoulders. And lifting your toes, slip your palms face up under the soles of your feet. Try to get your toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists. Then as you inhale, keep the hands under and lift your heart forward. Draw your shoulders back. Keep shifting your weight forward as you exhale to bow from your hips, completely dropping your head. Now, if available, bend your elbows apart here and lift the shoulders away from your neck. You might even explore shaking, nodding your head, or fluttering your lips for a few more breaths, letting out any unnecessary tension. Then slip your palms out from underneath and clasp your big toes with your index and middle fingers, Padangusthasana. Clasping your big toes, inhale, draw your heart forward, peel your shoulders back, lean forward, and with a long spine, feeling of a flat back, continue to fold. Relax your neck and lift the shoulders away from it. A few more breaths. Now you could enter hand to big toe pose from here, and I'll quickly demonstrate. So when you're ready, roll your spine upright to stand and take a moment to watch so you can know your choices. If you're not going to use a strap for hand to big toe, you could start with a challenge of beginning in forward fold with your right peace fingers clasping the right big toe to start. Left hand on left hip. And as you root down to your left foot, flexing right foot, you can begin to rise up, raising the left arm. And then we'll go to the next phase from there. So either start in a forward fold, right peace fingers clasping right big toe, or start in mountain pose, stepping the ball of your right foot into the loop or center of your strap. Kicking into the strap as you pull it with right hand as close to the right foot as possible. If you're using the strap, left hand on left hip, bend your right knee in front of you, pause there, then kick the foot away as you pull the strap towards you. Let's arrive together, standing tall with left arm up. Now, as you're here, remember how we lengthen the side of the torso in which the leg is lifting. Prevent hiking up the hip by rolling the right outer hip down towards your inner left heel. Lift up through the center line of your body. Steady your breath. Now externally rotate right thigh at the hip and begin to abduct your right leg and your left arm, moving the both away from your midline. Keep rolling the right sitting bone down towards your inner left heel, pressing through the tripod at the bottom of your left foot, big toe, pinky toe, heel, and lifting up through the center line of your body. Couple more breaths. Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana. So if you're using your peace fingers, you're also pulling the big toe and kicking the foot away at the same time. Now begin to bring your right leg forward, left arm up again. Stand tall, one more breath. And exhale, step it down, join your hands at your heart, close your eyes maybe, and allow a few breaths to observe. Now choose if you're gonna start in your forward fold, clasping the big toe, the left big toe with left peace fingers, or if you're gonna start in mountain pose, using the strap on the ball of your left foot flexed and rising up. We'll meet standing on your right leg, left leg extended in front of you, right arm to the sky. So remember, you wanna play a little tug of war between your left hand and left foot, whether or not you're using the strap. Then draw your left sitting bone downward towards your inner right heel. As you press the floor away with the right foot, lift up through the center line of your body. Check in with your breath. Now begin to rotate the left thigh at the hip externally before you abduct. Left leg, right arm. Keep rolling the left sitting bone down. Only go as far out as where you can keep your spine vertical, where the spine is not tilting sideways to compensate for what the left leg is doing. Let the left leg modify as needed so the spine stays centered and upright. Last 2 breaths. Bring your left leg in front of you, raise your right arm up, stand tall for 1 more breath. And exhale to Padasana, hands together at your hearts. Find that slow, even pace in the breath again. And please arrive at the top of your mat, feet together touching. This time, bend your knees. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, forward folds. Press down with your hands, inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Please step into full plank. Shoulders over wrists, spread the fingers wide, bring your feet together to touch. Lengthen the spine and spread the shoulder blades apart. Now roll onto the outer edge of your left foot flexed. Either step the right foot in front of you like a kickstand for support, or stack the feet, raising the right arm up. Lift through the left hip. Stay here or begin to bend the right knee in front of you like hand to big toe pose. Using the right peace fingers, clasp the right big toe. Extend the right leg forward and raise the right leg up as you abduct the right leg. Just like we did standing or similar to it. This is Vashisthasana. Last 2 breaths where you are. Slowly come back to plank pose and lower to hands and knees. Let's bend the fingertips to turn out to the left and right or rear edge of your mat. Stay still or take a few cat-cows. You could also, if your fingertips are facing the back wall, bend the elbows towards you to go even deeper into this inner wrist stretch. Relax your neck. Slow, calm, even breaths. Shake out your hands and let's come back to full plank. Spread your fingers wide, stack the shoulders over your wrists, and bring your feet together to touch, pressing the insteps back, lifting the sides of the belly. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot flexed. Either step the left foot in front of you as you raise the left arm up, or stack your feet. Lift your right hip high away from the floor using your obliques. If you're stacking your feet, you might add bending the left knee towards your belly and catching the big toe with your left peace fingers. Extending the left leg forward, then externally rotating at the hip before abducting the leg towards the sky. Vashisthasana. Whatever version of it, another 3 to 5 breaths. Slowly come back through plank pose. And this time, lower through chaturanga all the way to the ground. Rest your right ear to the earth, slide your right arm to the right, palm face down, and gently press the floor away with your left hand as you roll slowly to your right outer hip. Yin stretch to open the front of your right shoulder. Slide your right shoulder blade further down your back. Maybe explore stepping the left foot behind you off the mat. Last 3 breaths here. Slowly roll onto your belly. Slide your left arm to the left, palm face down. Right hand on the floor beside the right shoulder. Press the ground away with it as you gently roll over to your left hip. Slide your left shoulder blade further down your back. Maybe you explore stepping the right foot behind you off the mat. 3 more breaths. Come on to your belly again. And let's prepare for our last 3 back bends. Beginning with a round of bow pose. Slide your knees close together and bend them. With your hands, catch your inner or outer feet. Press your pubic bone into the ground and kick your feet away from you with equal pressure into each hand, pulling your feet at the same time. Lift your knees high, no wider apart than hips distance, and roll your shoulder bones back. Lengthen the back of your neck by looking slightly down. Give yourself 5 to 10 deep breaths here before you let go to rest. Dhanurasana. When you've let it go, come all the way down, be still. Notice how your body feels. 3 breaths. Then press up to sit, or actually stand on your knees. And we'll practice our last 2 back bends in camel pose. So place a block by the skinniest width in between your knees and thighs and hug it firmly. Tuck your toes behind you and backstroke your arms. Place your hands on your lower back with your fingertips face down, using your hands to direct your tailbone actively downward towards the ground between the knees and to keep your pelvis forward stacked right above the knees. Inhale, lift your heart and your back ribs. Exhale, roll your shoulders back and press them down while hugging your elbows closer together. Imagine the area right under your shoulder blades is where you're creating most of your back bend. Stay here or drop one hand to hold the heel underneath it. And then switch heels and hands. Or hold both at the same time, as long as your lower back feels no impingement. Give yourself 5 to 8 breaths in this posture before slowly rising with the help of your hands on your lower back and finding a comfortable seat briefly.
Release control and surrender to the flow of love that will.
You might place the block between your ankles to sit on, closing your eyes as you rest your hands at your heart center. Tune inward.
And surrender to the flow.
Last back bend, one more camel pose or Ustrasana. Choose to use the block for lower back support or not. Keep your toes tucked or go further, flatten the tops of your feet down. Take it for your own count of 5 to 10 breaths on your own, and we'll meet sitting. Ustrasana, deep, expansive breaths.
I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me.
Rest for at least 3 breaths, noticing your energy at your heart center.
And surrender to the flow of love
Then slide your legs in front of you and step your right foot on the ground, either in front of your right hip, preparing for a twist, or cross the foot outside your left knee, maybe bend the left knee too, making sure you can evenly ground your sitting bones as your spine is tall. Place the right hand behind your pelvis, raise the left arm, and root into the floor as you breathe in to rise tall. Exhale, twist to your right. Lower your left arm to hold your right leg, or to hook the elbow outside of it. For about 4 more deep breaths, continue to twist.
that will heal me. I release control and surrender to
As you exhale, unwind your spine. Hug your thighs closer together for Gomukhasana in the legs. Knees stacked. You can straighten the bottom leg forward and flex the foot if that helps you to sit more balanced. Bend the elbows apart for eagle arms. Cross the left elbow over the right. Press backs of the hands against each other or wrap forearms and palms. Slide the shoulders down as you sit tall And while exhaling, hinge forward from your hips. Inhale, root the pelvis down and lengthen the spine. Exhale as you fold. 2 more breaths. Into your hips. Inhale, rise up. Release your arms and stretch your legs. If you can, set up the same way for your spinal twist on the second side. Step the left foot on the ground in front of the left hip or crossed outside of the right knee. Maybe bend the right knee. Place the left hand behind your pelvis. Raise your right arm up. Root into the ground as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist your left. And hold your left leg with your right arm or hook the elbow outside of it. Continue to twist for 4 more breaths. As you exhale, unwind and hug your thighs even closer together for cow face pose, Gomukhasana. Root your sitting bones. Remember, you have the option of straightening the bottom leg if that helps you to sit more balanced. And let's bring the arms into Garudasana, eagle. Right elbow over left. Press the shoulders down, breathe in, root through the pelvis, lengthen up, breathe out, hinge forward. A few more breaths. Press down with your hips, breathe in, slowly rise. Release your arms, release your legs, and please find a comfortable way to sit as you begin the practice of the cooling breathing technique, or pranayama. Remember, that's the 4th limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, and particularly alternate nostril breathing. Nodi Shodhana Pranayama. So sitting tall and relaxed, place the left hand on your lap, either grounding mudra, thumb and index finger touching, palm face down. Pran mudra, which is energizing, looks like a peace sign, palm face up, or any other mudra of your choice. Place the right hand in Vishnu mudra, sticking out thumb, pinky, and ring finger. With your lips closed, continue to breathe in and out slowly and softly through your nose. No or little sound. We're going to use right thumb to close right nostril and right ring and pinky to close left nostril. Alternate nostril breathing. You might close your eyes and imagine the breath entering or exiting where it is, or steady your gaze at your brow center, your intuitive energy center. Let's prepare to practice 3 breaths together and 2 or 3 cycles together and 2 cycles on your own. So empty this breath. Right thumb, close right nostril, inhale left. Hold the breath. Close left, exhale right. Hold the breath. Inhale right. Hold. Close right, exhale left. Hold. Second cycle. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Close left. Exhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Inhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Close right. Exhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Continue 2 more cycles on your own. When you're done, breathe naturally and observe how you feel. Then begin to lower your body to the floor, lying down for Shavasana. Splay out your arms and legs, close your eyes, and continue to relax. Control the breath. As you continue to rest in stillness with your eyes closed, scan around your physical body mentally and notice how it feels now. And take your time, gently begin to wake up your body. Start by moving small parts, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, and graduating into simple stretches. Eventually, turn over onto your right side and rest your head, noticing the breath just as it is, sensing your energy. Notice if anything here has shifted. Then begin to lift your body into a comfortable seat, preparing to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. I'm going to relist the Yamas and Niyamas briefly before we sit. And notice if any particular Yama or Niyama resonates with you today, that you might use it as your object of focus, cultivating the feeling tone of that particular practice. The Yamas are Ahimsa, which is reverence, love, compassion for all. Satya, truthfulness, integrity. Asteya, generosity and honesty. Brahmacharya, balance and moderation of vital life force. And aparigraha, awareness of abundance, fulfillment. The niyamas are saucha, simplicity, purity, and refinement. Santosha, or contentment, being at peace with oneself and others. Tapas, igniting the purifying flame. Swadhyaya, sacred study of the divine through scripture, nature, and introspection. And lastly, Ishvara Pranidhana, wholehearted dedication to the divine. Which of these 10 practices resonate with you? And how might you picture a representation of that mentally? Cultivate the feeling tone of that at your heart and physically. And now notice how you feel emotionally and mentally, sensing the effects of your practice. You might join your palms together at your heart, connecting with gratitude, choosing something to offer appreciation for. And remind yourself of what your intention was for today's practice. And reimagine that person or group, whatever you dedicated today's practice to. And together, let's close chanting Om 3 times. Inhale slowly. Bow in towards your heart center, honoring the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.